You're watching The Breakfast Club.
Good morning, everybody. It's DJ NV, Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are The Breakfast Club. Now, if you just joined us, Charlamagne tell us a story that he actually peed on himself.
I peed on myself yesterday. I mean, first and foremost, I had a great day yesterday. I did something that I have been wanting to do for a long time. I wrote it down on my vision board, and I did it yesterday. Salute to Kevin Hart because he planted that seed in my mind, but I'll tell y'all about that later. And so I was kind of like feeling myself, you know what I mean? And I feel like God always has a way of like humbling you.
Right.
Because I went into the bank yesterday and it's all of a sudden it hit me that I had to pee really, 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 really bad. And the bank didn't have a bathroom. So I walked outside and I'm like, damn, should I pee in the parking lot? But I didn't want to pee in the parking lot because if you get caught peeing in New Jersey, you know, in public, you got to register as a sex offender.
And that is true. People are telling me that is true.
Yes.
I thought that was a lie. I thought that was a joke. I didn't know you can't pee in public.
My cousin Tony told me that. Actually, the last time I sharded on myself was when he told me that, but that's another story. So I drove to the subway because I felt like I'd make it to Subway before I made it to my house. The sandwich spot.
Right.
And when I got to Subway, the police were blocking off the entrance because they were doing construction. And I was just like, damn, man. And I really couldn't hold it. Like, I was trying to hold it, but it's like my penis exploded. And I just peed all over myself,
like
all
STD.
in my truck, you know what I mean? And then my wife got mad at me because I told her about it last night, and she asked me where the wet clothes were, and I had put them in the hamper. So she fussed at me about that. So basically, you know, my whole life yesterday, I felt like I was 10.
Now, the last time I peed on myself, I remember peeing on myself in high school, coming home, and I couldn't get the key in the door. I couldn't open it fast enough. I did it that time, and I'm not going to lie. I was trying to make it, you know, I sleep in the back here sometimes, right?
You peed on yourself in here?
On the way, running to the bathroom, I couldn't get to the bathroom fast enough, so it was trickling down my leg, and
that was a little trickle, bro. I had a full-blown explosion
I had
yesterday.
a full-blown explosion, but it was trickling where it went all the way down my leg to my sock.
Let me tell you how bad I peed on myself yesterday, right?
It had to go in your shoes.
It went in my shoes. It definitely went in my shoes and my socks, but I had two hats behind me in the driver's seat. And I went to put on one of the hats on this morning.
You was gonna pee in the hat?
Soaked in pee.
What is wrong with you?
And I told myself a lie. I said, nope. I left the windows down. It was raining yesterday. I'm like, there's no way. There's no way my pee went all the way to the back seat.
Disgusting.
Like this.
You never ride with
nasty.
Charlamagne. Never, because that car has to smell pissy as hell.
Listen, I'm going to tell you how bad my truck smells right now. I went to Taste the Seafood. Who Taste the Seafood in Harlem this weekend?
Right.
So we took the fish all the way from Harlem back to Jersey. So it already had a fishy smell. And now I got a pissy smell.
Wait, did you park in the lot and they had to park your car for you?
Where?
Here
at
at
work.
work.
Yes.
You are disgusting.
Oh my God, that's awful.
So he probably think I was having some ferocious and disgusting sex in that truck this weekend.
So they had to sit in your urine to move your car.
Oh my gosh, yes.
That's
You are disgusting.
disrespectful.
Have
It
you ever
rained
peed on
yesterday. I
yourself?
left the window down.
I have not peed on myself since I was a child. I've been around a lot of situations where people peed on themselves, though. My ex-boyfriend peed in the bed one time, but he was drunk and he was on crutches, so he couldn't make it to the bathroom.
He was all
God just
bad.
got a way of keeping me humble, man. That's all.
Goodness gracious. All right, let's go to the phone lines. 800-585-1051. We're asking, have you ever peed on yourself? Now,
As an adult.
as an
As
adult.
a child, it's okay.
Andrew, what's up?
Hey, what's going on, man?
Now, you a boxer and you peed in the ring?
You know, basically what happened was, I really had to go, man. And, usually, I hold it in or whatever. But, it was a tough round. And old boy hit me in the stomach so hard, man, I just went right in there in the ring,
You
man.
pissed yourself.
Okay,
See,
well,
that's
that
a little
makes sense.
different.
That
Yeah.
makes sense.
You got a reason. I ain't had no reason to pee on myself yesterday, bro.
Well, did you win?
Hey, nah, they stopped the bout, man. They wasn't trying to hear that. They wasn't trying to hear that.
All right.
So,
well,
What about those UFC fighters that poop in the ring?
poop on himself, that's disgusting. Brianna,
Hi.
what's up, mama? Now, you peed on yourself on your way to class?
Yes, like my doctor gave me like some pills, or like I forgot what it was for. So like, I was attending South Carolina State University.
South
And,
Carolina
like,
State, my mama's alma mater.
And so when I was on the way to like coming from the gym for one of my classes, it's like a bunch of dorms, right? So I wasn't able to use the bathroom. And it was like a bunch of people walking. I'm like, okay, if I pay at least the students, then I can go to the bathroom. And I just had to let go. And it was like everybody like walking by. I was like, oh my gosh. And then the horrible part about it was like they cut the hot water off in our dorm. So I had to go to my dorm and take a cold shower.
Oh,
It was
my
horrible.
goodness.
Now, I'm going to tell you
Thank you,
something.
Mama.
I expect more women to pee on themselves just because vaginas defy the law of gravity as it is. You know what I'm saying? But penises are more of like a holder. You know what I'm saying? More so than the vagina scene.
I feel like it's just easier for guys to pee
Outside, absolutely.
when they want to.
Yeah.
Like you could sit in the
That's
car
true.
and pee out the door or whatever.
Well, not pee out the door.
You
but.
can't? I would think you could.
All right. Well, 800-585-1051. We're talking, have you peed on yourself as an adult? Charlamagne did it yesterday.
I sure did.
Now, if you just joined us, Charlamagne peed on himself yesterday. All down his leg, in his shoes, sneakers, sock, his car. So disgusting.
And I say do not pee on yourself by any means necessary. I was on a flight one time, and you know how when the flight is about to land, you're not allowed to get up?
Right.
But I had to go to the bathroom so bad, and we were taxiing for a really long time. And I just got up and went, and they were screaming at me, we're going to have to call the police, you're going to get arrested. I did not care because I wasn't going to pee on myself.
Well, yeah, I got a rule to myself that I don't hold my pee or my number 2 for nobody. So I should have went and peed yesterday when I thought about peeing, but instead I went into the bank and I was in there for way too long, and then I ended up having to pee on myself once I got in the truck. But I'm going to tell you something, man.
What's that?
That don't stop the fact that I'm a New York Times best-selling author or a nationally syndicated radio personality, okay? Or an executive producer of television, all right? Every now and then God does things to keep you humble.
All right, pissy boy.
And peeing on myself yesterday was one of those things.
Portia,
Hello?
you peed on yourself in front of your crib?
Yeah, it actually happened a couple of times. As I was explaining, I'm a nurse, and I'm so ready to get off work. I hold my pee all day.
Why?
So I get to the front of my house, and because I live 5 minutes away, and I think I can make it, and I peed on myself.
Ain't that the worst feeling, though, man? I never felt so crippled like I did yesterday. It felt like my penis was throbbing and ready to explode. And even though I was 5 minutes away from my house, it felt like 5 hours.
Seems like as you get closer to your crib, it's like you got to go even more. It's like it's just right there.
So then
What was that meant for?
we have a term coined as garage incontinence. Because I get in my garage and then I have to like pee in like a flower pot or something because I can't make it from my garage or to the door. Like I don't.
No, I respect that. That's paying it forward when it comes to nature. You fertilizing them flowers.
Well, I peed in the club in a bucket of
I remember that.
a bucket
That's
of
disgusting.
ice. I couldn't get to the bathroom in time, and I was DJing. So it was either let the record play out or pee right there in that bucket, and I peed right there in that bucket. Jacqueline, good morning.
Hello?
Hey, mama, you peed in your car?
Oh my gosh, yes. I was a senior in high school. It was so embarrassing. I didn't have an option. So I used to ride horses, and after like school was over, I was like, oh my gosh, I got to get to my lesson, and I had to pee then, but I didn't have time, right? So I get to the barn, I'm already running late. I have an hour-and-a-half lesson. I rode the whole lesson, and then I'm like, man, I got to get home. Still no time to go to the bathroom. I've got to go so bad. But on the side of the road, in one of our main towns, I see the Adidas tent sale. And I was like, oh, well, who can pass up a deal on some Adidas, right? And so I stopped and, I shopped. I got myself a few pairs of shoes and some shorts and a backpack and realized, like, man, I still got to go. I should probably get home. Well, in Kentucky, it's all back roads, and there is nowhere to pull off. So now I'm driving down the road like, uh-oh. Like, we have a situation now because there's nowhere to pull off. Like, even if I was trying to go on the side of the road, there is no side of the road. And I just came to a point where I'm just like, damn, this is about to get ugly.
Baby,
and I had to let
I
it
can't
go
believe she
in the
went
car.
shopping and did all this other stuff knowing she had to
That's exactly how I felt yesterday. I peed in my truck, boo. And as soon as I saw that police car blocking the entrance to Subway, I was just like, F it. I was just happy I had on sweatpants.
Yes, it was so embarrassing. And then I got home, right, and I live in a neighborhood where nobody is ever outside. Tell me why, like, the whole block is standing outside, and you can clearly see that I've now peed myself having to walk inside my house to go clean the up.
My
Let me ask you a
Very
question.
embarrassing.
Do you think riding a horse made your vagina a little bit bigger, which made it harder for you to hold your pee?
No, 100% no. But sometimes that saddle is super uncomfortable, and it makes things swollen, but definitely not bigger.
Sounds like a yeast infection.
No yeast infections.
What does a yeast
Absolutely
infection have to
not.
do with it being swollen from riding a horse?
I don't know because I don't know the friction. I don't know. Well, somebody just sent me a message that says it's official. Public urination is no longer a criminal offense in New York City.
See, I wish I'd have known that yesterday. Well, that's New York. I was in
New York. I
Jersey.
don't know about it. But let me ask you a question, right? This is going to sound crazy, and maybe I shouldn't even say it, right?
What?
But if a dog could pee outside on a tree.
All right, Envy.
What?
Okay. Could you shut up, please? Listen, the moral of the story is and then it was broad daylight. You know what I'm saying? If it was dark, I would have definitely peed in the parking lot of the bank yesterday.
Why you pee on a tire? Like, go between the car and just pee right there on the tire.
It was broad daylight. It was in the middle of the afternoon. Like I just couldn't do it. I got salute to my homegirl Keisha. She texted me now talking about that's what you get for going to another bank teller. What that got to do with anything, Keisha? Y'all ain't got no bathroom in that bank
Because
either.
it took a long time, and maybe if you would have went to Keisha, you wouldn't have had to wait.
Keisha wasn't there yesterday. Oh well, Keisha worked at a whole other branch. Salute
right.
to Keisha though.
All right. Well, is there a moral to this story?
There is a moral to this story.
What?
You know what I'm saying? Your Uncle Charlotte will always give you a moral. There's
Be
no
humble,
way,
bitch.
There's no way I would pee on myself yesterday, you know what I'm saying, and not give y'all a moral to the story. But always remember that love is like peeing on yourself. Everyone can see it, but only you get the warm feeling that it brings.
Did you throw your shoes away at least?
Hell no, nigga. I had on my J's yesterday. Nigga.
You're bugging.
I had on
You
my-
are bugging, man.
I had on my
You
black
make too much money
and
to
gray
keep them
12s
pissy
yesterday.
Jordans.
Hell no.
You're crazy. All
I'm
right.
not throwing away no J's. What you take a hand?